What's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at Cardano, ADA against USDT. Going to be assessing some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be looking at the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in the very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag? If you have one, are you bullish on Cardano? Are you accumulating at these dips? Do you think there's more highs ahead? We're going to plow through all this overhead resistance, get to the multi-dollar range that we came from in the not so distant past. Or are you bearish on price action? Do you believe support has yet to be found? There's more downside. Are we going to plow through $1, 75 cents, 50 cents, head straight to zero? Let me know your thoughts on the direction of Cardano down in the comment section below. Now, jumping right into it. To recap price action that has been kicked, slapped, and trapped between this pivotal range of sideways with euphoric highs and like the $2+ kind of range there, and I do believe the area of support we need to be considering is going to be just below $1 at 93 cents, in my opinion. Cardano has been looking very, very bullish ever since entering this range. There's been a lot of fundamental buy pressure interacting with very high technical sell pressure, causing this very aggressive sideways. But the demand for Cardano is overall very high, and we keep bouncing off of this psychological round level near $1 here, suggesting further support at that range, which could suggest some more upside in the kind of mid to long term here. Cardano looking very, very bullish. But significant resistance at $1.48 in my opinion. Perhaps $1.50 is the kind of psychological round level, as Cardano does like to be interacting with those. I do believe that is going to be significant resistance moving forward, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections off of that level. We are now looking to interact with it for kind of the 5th time. We do have price action above $1.48 for a kind of like period of weeks between the 6th of May and kind of the 17th of June. There we have price action dancing above that critical resistance near kind of $1.50, but also reaching back into this range toward $1. We have price action very bullishly bouncing off of support near $1 here. It's a psychological kind of round level we're kind of bouncing off of, but I do believe the key level to consider is 94 cents, just below $1. I do believe a retest of 94 cents would be a very bullish indicator of further support at this level, and would further confirm the uptrend it was likely to continue. Cardano is looking very bullish. There's very high demand for Cardano at this moment. Very high fundamental buy pressure interacting with very high technical sell pressure is causing this aggressive range of sideways, but I do believe the bulls might be winning this one. Very nice bounces off of $1. Like I've been saying, we are now heading toward that resistance at $1.50. $1.47 is going to we're going to need to see how we can interact with it. If we can repeat what we did on the kind of 5th and 6th of May and find ourselves above it, confirming it as support, we can be more bullish at this levels. But a rejection at that range could send us back toward $1, and or even my support line there below $1 at 94 cents. I do believe perhaps before we see these kind of like multi-dollar ranges, we might have one more attempt to buy below $1. I know that seems very unlikely, but I do believe a heavy retracement is pending at the moment. Fundamentally, buy pressure is in play. We could very much vertically plow through into these ranges, but if this resistance is significant enough, I suspect perhaps further interaction with $1 and perhaps one final buy opportunity below $1 can present itself before we continue the uptrend here. But new perspective comes into play when we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the Fibba, Lamborghini, Fettuccine lines of zucchinis, bikinis, martinis, and Lamborghinis. We can see price action interacting with the ever so critical and pivotal 0.5 Fettuccine line at $1.24, acting as some kind of like local support here. The buy 4 closing, price action above the 200 daily moving average. Price action is looking very, very bullish. If this bounce off of the 200 daily plays out, we could easily plow through this resistance. But with the 0.618 waiting for us at $1.53, this does suggest very significant sell pressure in this kind of zone here, which could slap price action to further find support downward. That 0.5 line at $1.24 could very well be our savior here, preventing us from getting below $1. Although my bearish target is still going to be kind of just sub $1 here. The 0.382 Fettuccine line at 95 cents correlating with my 94 cent support line, suggesting there is very significant support at that level. So as we can see, price action has been trapped in this very critical sideways. We will have to see if we can hold kind of $1.24, maybe $1.25 seems to be the psychological round level, but the 0.5 fettuccine line at $1.24 is going to be our sort of local short-term support that we need to hold, and perhaps that could give us the momentum to plow through very significant sell pressure near $1.50. We have that buy for coming into play, suggesting the bulls are present, buy pressure is present, and the uptrend does want to continue. Price action has been well above this 200 daily moving average for quite some time now, and this bullish bounce off of it does suggest that the buy pressure is very much still in play. Although I am suspecting, I'm always looking for support. I'm always looking for breaks upwards and pullbacks for support. I'm waiting for price action to fully confirm the 0.5 fettuccine line at $1.25 as support before I can kind of get more bullish in the short term here. Long term, very bullish on Cardano. Cardano very much wants to be on the up and up, and there's a lot of fundamental buy pressure present for Cardano, and it's maintained this buy pressure for several months now, and so it very much wants to continue upward. However, I suspect one final buy opportunity below $1 will present itself before we can continue upward here. Price action looking very bullish, in my opinion. Buy for, price action above the 200 daily moving average. Support found above $1.24 would make that, buy in under $1 less likely, although I still see that as not impossible moving forward. Now, new perspective comes into play when we consider Cardano against Bitcoin. We can see a different example of price action here. We have the sell for still present, suggesting some bearish price action against the Bitcoin, meaning we could see some downside against the price of Bitcoin. We do have price action getting squeezed between the 0.618 fettuccine line and my support level at 3096 Satoshi. Currently trapped in a very tight range. I suspect perhaps the resistance at the 0.618 line, 3279 Satoshi, could send price action toward this 0.5 fettuccine line at 2731 Satoshi, which at this moment is currently correlating with the 200 daily moving average. And support found on the 200 daily moving average against the price of Bitcoin would be very, very bullish for Cardano, and would very much suggest that the buy pressure is in play, and the uptrend will likely continue from there. So once the buy for comes back for Cardano against Bitcoin, we can be far more bullish, but at this time I do suspect this might be what causes the kind of like a few more days of sideways or potential downside, a retest, a really quick retest downward to find support down there before we kind of move forward. Although Cardano is very, very bullish, say we find ourselves above that 0.618 line and a buy for returns, we could very much suspect the uptrend will likely continue. However, I'm always looking for support. I suspect a retest downward is pending. Now, lots going on for Cardano against Bitcoin. We have price action still being affected by the sell for since the dreaded 19th of May. Perhaps we get an interaction with the 200 daily moving average against the price of Bitcoin. Like I said, support found along that moving average against the ADA BTC chart would be very bullish. But a new perspective comes into play when we consider Bitcoin against USDT. What do we have here? Very bullish price action, very, very bullish price action. We have interaction with the 0.618 fettuccine line, 41,500. I've been suspecting this is capable of slapping us all the way back down to where we come from. So we will have to see how the next kind of few candles interact with this range. In addition to the underside of that 200 daily moving average is going to be very high sell pressure, which could slap us all the way back down to where we came from. Now, I've been suggesting a retest of $34,300 per Bitcoin, which is the 0.5 fettuccine line, a key level of support that we might have to establish moving forward to get the momentum to get back up to the euphoric highs that we came from. Although a different perspective is, say we have a candle similar to the 8th of February of this year, we could easily find ourselves closer to 50K sooner than we think. So price action in a very volatile, pivotal state at the moment, currently interacting with a very, very key level that we will have to establish either as support or resistance to determine the short-term direction of price action moving forward. We do have that buy for in play. We've been on the up and up since that buy for has closed. And all this kind of vertical price action, I do believe, will have to be met with a rather aggressive retracement and interaction with support. I'm always looking for support. I'm always looking for a break upward and a pullback to confirm that bottom. Price action looking very, very bullish in my opinion. We have that buy for So there is buy pressure. The bulls are here, although price action below the 200 daily moving average, still a technical bearish indicator. So there is still reasons to be uncertain of the direction of Bitcoin. Long term, I'm always bullish on Bitcoin. There's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin, only better times. So far, this is looking pretty bottomy to me. Support found above 34,000 is going to be a very, very significant confirmation of a bottom at this range. And plus, the last time that we bounced off of kind of the low 30s, high 20Ks there, we found ourselves, very quickly up in the kind of 50, 60K range. So there is definitely a lot that could go on for Bitcoin at the moment. But I do believe a multi-$1,000, perhaps, $5,000 to $10,000 move is coming either up or down at the moment, and that still would place us rather sideways. So there's definitely a lot of wiggle room for Bitcoin right now to still be uncertain of the midterm kind of direction. Right now, the overall buy pressure of Bitcoin is ever so apparent. Even though we have all the technical sell pressure present, all the technical downside, I do believe all this accumulation, all this downside has been very healthy for the trend in the long term and has likely been what's building up the momentum to have such vertical price action. But anything that goes up this quickly must come down just as quickly. So we'll have to see how we interact with the 0.618 Fibonacci line. If we confirm that as support, we can get very bullish on Bitcoin in the short term. But if that is resistance, we got to wait more. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo free with the link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out all the other social media down below. Let me know in the comment section. Are you bullish? Are you bearish on Bitcoin? What are you doing with your bag if you have one? Have you been buying all these dips, accumulating in these lows? Do you think we're headed for all-time highs and then some is six figures around the corner? Or is this just a fake out upward? Is there more downside? Are we going to get rejected off the 200 daily, enter a bear market, head straight to zero? Let me know your thoughts on Bitcoin moving forward. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.